Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam and today we are going to figure out my June TBR. It's complicated. There's a lot going on. I want to participate in things, but at the same time, I need a break. In May, I am on track to read 31 books in 31 days, potentially even 32 books, which is insane. That's so many books. So I'm wanting to relax a little bit in June. I'm 25 books ahead of my Goodreads goal, so I don't have to go so hard. 12 books is kind of my goal for June, and then anything else is kind of just a fun bonus, but I have very little clue what I'm actually going to read besides a few book club books that I have in mind and just a few things that are carrying over that I want to get to, but overall I don't know what I want to read. So we're going to play my TBR game. This is inspired by Disney Villainous. We're going to play this, figure out what 5 books I'm guaranteed to read this month, and we'll kind of just go from there. The few readathons that I really want to participate in are Once Upon a Readathon. I'm on Team Jin for Daphne. She's co-hosting with Hannah and a whole bunch of other hosts. I will leave that information down below. I want to participate in adventureathon. I think I'm going to go the Assassins route, which is always a good time. I have a few books planned for that. I also want to participate in horrorathon. That's happening, I think it's July 1st. I believe that's what it is. Either way, I want to participate in horrorathon. There is a buddy read that they're all going to read, and I want to read that. Is that it? I think that's it. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of a relaxing, chill time, but also a good time. That's the plan. So first, let's go over all the books that I read in May that were on my TBR. I had less than 300 pages on my TBR for this. I plan to read The Magic Fish. I did read it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was very sweet and very cute. It is following a young boy who's kind of coming to terms with his sexuality and trying to understand that in an atmosphere that is a little bit less welcoming, while also dealing with the recent death of his grandma. So his mom is traveling back to, I want to say, Vietnam, and I thought it was very well done. I loved the fairy tale stories being told throughout it. I thought it was very well done and I really enjoyed it. So that is done. I did not read God Killer again, I know, which is for my signed edition. I will read it hopefully this month. I'm just really bad at reading books without an audiobook handy. It's really difficult for me to focus and sit down and just actually read it. Audiobooks are a lifesaver for me because I'm incredibly slow and I get very distracted very easily. So I've yet to read God Killer, but it wasn't technically on this month's TBR, so I don't think I'm going to take a punishment. But yeah, if you have any ideas on that, let me know. We can maybe figure something out. And then for favorite author, my glasses prompt. I'm supposed to read The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I'm still 46% in. Austin and I have a ways to go with it. We've got, I think, 6 hours. Because I'm reading it with him at the same time, I unfortunately cannot say that I've read it, which means I will be taking one punishment for that. And then for the knife, I got thriller or horror book. I read Under the Whispering Door and I gave it 4 stars, I believe. I'm really excited to discuss this one in the upcoming live show. I think it's going to be June 3rd. I think it's the first Saturday in June. I'm so very excited for this discussion. I think it's going to be really interesting hearing different opinions and thoughts on it. I know a lot of booktubers that didn't really love it, but it's all about the satanic panic in the 80s and just things that were going on. It does take inspiration from one true event of teachers doing something to students, and I don't know if it was true or not. I really want to watch that documentary. But yes, I did read Under Whispers. It's Whispers down the lane. I don't know why I keep thinking Under. Anywho, moving on. Audiobook longer than 6 hours. I had chosen Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, the sequel to Strange the Dreamer, and I did read it. Do I remember any of it? No. Those books feel like fever dreams. Like, they happen so fast. I don't know what happened. I couldn't tell you. I will revisit them someday in the far future because I just don't know. And then for standalone, I was to read Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tooley. I've started this. I will be finishing it today. This is following two girls. They are witches. It is sapphic. It's young adult fantasy. I'm very intrigued to see where this goes and finish it. I really like the audiobook narrator. I'm going to finish this today. It's May 31st, if you were wondering. And I'm hoping to log this as my final book for Escape the Readathon, but it's been going good. And then that dang fountain pen, write 500 books, oh my god, no. Write 500 words a week. Oh boy, did I fail this. I did so bad. I didn't do good. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep striving for it. I didn't do great. I did write a little bit, but I was just reading so much for readathons and just like loving life that I unfortunately did not get too much writing. So maybe this month will be a little bit different since I'm taking a little bit more chill. It'll be great. And then as for my punishments for last month, I'm also finishing the Atlas 6 today. This was my punishment for like last month, I want to say, and it was to flip a coin. I had to choose between this book or I think it was Crescent City, and thank goodness, the coin toss picked Atlas 6. I'll be finishing this up today. I'm very excited to finally wrap this up. It's been going for sure. And then the other one was Goodreads Choice Awards, and I read The Final Gambit. I did the infamous first and last reading vlog with this, and to no surprise, it didn't really do great, but I had a really fun time. I actually look back on these books very fondly. I enjoyed them. I would recommend the series to you. And then I also completed the 48-hour readathon punishment, which truly couldn't have happened at a better time. It was so much fun. I had an absolute blast. I participated in Hardback Hoarders Allie's 24-hour readathon where she was live consecutively for 24 hours, and guess what? So was I. I took one tiny 3-minute nap during the second to last sprint, and that is all the sleep that I ended up getting. In that, I read the entire book of Babel. It was so much fun. I had a great time. And then I participated in the 72 hours in the Smut Den, and I read a lot of books, and I had a wonderful time. It was just like a great reading month. I will look back on this month so fondly, probably forever. But with that said, let us take our one punishment. What's it gonna be? A book that you ghosted. Oh no, that's interesting. My current reads is about 19 right now, I want to say. I know one comes to mind, but I don't know. I have like a video plan for it now that it's taken so long. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Oh, I know what I'm picking. Is this cheating? No, I don't think it's fine. It's fine. Let me grab it. So, there's been quite a few books that I have ghosted. Again, my current reads is about 19, 18, in that ballpark. And a lot of these books are actually carryovers from 2022. One of those being Morning Star by Pierce Brown. Guess what's coming out in July? The sequel to Dark Age. Yeah, so I want to read Lightbringer in July, which means that I need to read 3 Pierce Brown books. So my plan is to read Morning Star and Iron Gold in June, and then in July, beginning of July, I will read Dark Age, and then once Lightbringer comes out, I will read that. I'm very excited. I'm so happy to be continuing and caught up in this series, especially. We'll talk about the activities that I've done this month, but one of my favorite board games in the history of games that I own right now is Red Rising. It is so much fun, and every time I see the characters, I just swoon. I just swoon so hard. So I'm very excited to finally be back in the world, finally finish this. I'm probably gonna have to restart it. I've been on chapter 19 far too long. Yeah. I'm excited though. I'm so happy. That worked out great. Wonderful, even. So, for the month of May, I don't know where we are in time. In May, I had a lot of effect cards, which are bonus activities that I can do. Often they don't lead to any reading prompts, they're just for funsies. And I got a lot last month, and I completed maybe half of them. The first one that I ended up completing was a pen pal. Adriana and I have been pen paling for a little while, and it's been so much fun. I just recently got her letter, and she sent me some foreign candy, which I'm so excited about. It's been a lot of fun pen paling with her. She is in Poland, which is so crazy. She's an actress. She's amazing. I love her. Check out her channel if you haven't already. So yes, I sent my letter back to her. It's gonna take about 2 to 3 months until she gets it, but you know, it's fun nonetheless. And then I also did some bookish art. I've worked on some art journals this month, which has been incredible. Slowly but surely the book journal is getting caught up, and then I will eventually go back and fix 2022's book journal. But I'm very excited to share it with you guys. I'm hoping to get it caught up through June, and then I can do like a flip through, mid-year flip through. That's kind of the goal, but that was happening. Playing a board or card game. We played Red Rising a couple of times this month. It's my favorite. I have never lost. So if you want to best me at Red Rising, good luck. As for the rest of these, I did not swap a book with anyone. There was not necessarily any need to, so I'm just going to discard that one. I'm going to leave my write/edit a chapter just because, you know, the fountain pen is there. It's something I desperately need to do. I also did not listen to a podcast this month. I genuinely was listening to so many books. I was reading so much, there wasn't the time. And then finally watched an adaptation for a book I haven't read. I also didn't do that. I didn't watch anything this month, but I'm so excited for Heartstopper 2 to come out. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Alrighty. Let's get started now, finally. This is such a long intro. I do apologize. Sometimes it just happens though. Happy Pride. I totally forgot to mention that I'm also trying to participate in Queer Lit-a-thon, which has a bingo board. The 2 buddy reads for that are going to be Finna and All Boys Aren't Blue, so I'm going to try to read both of those. And then again, I'm participating in the Literally Dead Book Club, which we're reading The Devotion of Suspect X. I'm also participating in Daphne's book club, Being Book Club, where we are going to continue reading the Jade City trilogy. We're going to be reading Jade War in the entire month of June. I'm also hoping to participate in Sav over at Riveting Reads Lights Out book club, where they're reading The Chateau. Like, there are so many options, so many things to read. I won't go into all of them, but just know there's a lot going on. Okay, this is getting too long. Let's continue. So I'm going to draw up my hand. The first one is going to be Buzzwordathon, which I have 2 books picked out for that. That might work well. And then we've got Read a Spooky Book. Ooh. And then read a book with an animal on the cover. Interesting, interesting. And finally, a badass main character. Female, particularly. My favorite kind, personally. So, wonderful, wonderful. Now, we're going to move my little cactus one space. If you're unsure how this game works, I always have the rules in a Google Doc down below, as well as all the cards and the prompts that they associate with, in case you're curious or making your own. That's available to you. But this is heavily inspired by the Disney Villainous board game, so if you've never played that, it might be a little bit confusing, but basically move your piece to a area. Currently, right now, it's couch, outdoor, chair, etc. Move your character into a square and then complete the 4 actions in there. I always have my little cheat sheet out so you can see what the little icons mean, but that's basically the gist. So I have 4 cards in my hand, and now I'm going to play one. I'm going to take my first token. I'm now at 11, so I think I'm going to have to find something new to do once I get to 25, because I'm on a strict, hard, very little book buying ban. Little tiny books might be bought here and there, but I'm strict book buying ban. It's so intense. So I can draw an effect card. So I got collect 2 tokens. That's exciting. Maybe I'll talk my boyfriend into buying me books if I get to 25. And then I can also play 1 card. I think that the first one I'm going to play is Buzzwordathon. I have 2 books that I'm hoping to read. Let me grab. So for Buzzwordathon, I'm hoping to read Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. This is magical realism, which is not my preferred genre for sure, but I picked it up from Book of the Month and I'm excited to see what it's got in store. Basically, this is following a girl who moves into an apartment building after her mom passes away or something. Yeah, her mom passes away, so she moves into her apartment on this tiny little island where magical realism things happen. I suspect this is going to deal a lot with grief and that kind of subject, but it's on the shorter side. I'm excited. I remember that Reading with Neen read this, and so I was like, oh, that's someone who enjoyed it at least a little bit. Great. So, yes, I'm excited to pick this up. I'm excited to read more books off of my Book of the Month shelf. I'm supposed to read 15 this year, I think, for the, like, Book of the Month goals. I don't remember. Alright, and now I'm going to move to my next space. I'm going to move over here. I'm going to take 1. Please give me my token, thank you. And so here I can actually play 2 cards. So I'm going to first play Badass Female Main Character, and for this I'm going to actually pick up The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Audier. This is the sequel to The Wrath and the Dawn, and I could not be more excited to finally read this. It's been too long. I ended up rereading The Wrath and the Dawn, which I still love so much, in preparation to read this in May, and then I didn't actually end up getting to it at all because I just didn't have time. So I'm excited to officially put it on the TBR to guarantee that I read this baby finally and finish up the series. I've already read all of the little like 2.5, 1.5 books, so I'm very excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. If you're unfamiliar, The Wrath and the Dawn is following our main character. Why is it only her name? Where is her nickname? Please. In this, we are following Shaharza, who marries the Caliph, who is infamous for murdering his brides the night they get married. And this happens almost nightly. And she's like, you know what? You killed my best friend. I'm gonna kill you. And decides to volunteer for marriage. And then the tables kind of turn. And they kind of fall in love. This is true enemies to lovers, like I'm going to kill you to lovers, and at the end of the first book they get separated like always. And so I'm excited to see what this one has in store. She is a badass. She knows how to wield a bow like no other. She is so unapologetically herself and unafraid to say what's on her mind. I really appreciate her as main character, and I'm excited to see how this story ends. And then the next card I'm going to play is Spooky Read, which means basically horror, thriller, ghost stories, whatever your heart contents. And for this, I'm proper stumped right now. My brain is going to like the route of thrillers, but I kind of want to lead more like paranormal for this one. So maybe I will pick up The Last Hope in Hopetown for this one. I have this through NetGalley. I'm super late on it, and I'm really trying my best to get my NetGalley caught up and like cleared out to the best of my abilities, and this is one that I really need to get to. I don't actually remember what it is about or what's going on, but I do think that it's queer. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's queer. So at the very least, like, that's something to help me with. So that's what I think I'm gonna go with, and then I'm gonna draw my hand back up to 4. So the first card that I drew was a new release. Exciting stuff. The next card is bought because of Book Talk. I will be honest, I have not been on TikTok in quite some time. And finally, a recommendation. Okay, so I'm gonna move over here. I'm gonna take 1. I'm gonna draw an effect card, which means that I have to create a reading playlist or specific book playlist. I've been really wanting to get into that more. I love people, the Cruel Prince is a major one. A lot of people have playlists for the Cruel Prince, and I think that's so cool. I love it so much. I have a lot of playlists for my personal writing projects, which I is one of like the most fun things that I can do. So I'm excited to like listen to some books and like find music that fits it. I've been on a big finding music journey this past month because I've just been kind of bored with what I got. So that's super fun and great. Now I'm going to play my next card. This is going to be for the 4th book. And I think I gotta go real easy with myself, and I'm gonna have to pick new release because right next to me is the majestic 4th Wing. This is by Rebecca Yarros, and this has taken the book community by storm, and I've been saying that I was going to read this weekend and weekend and weekend again, and it just hasn't given me the time. I have the audiobook available. It's like 20 hours. This is the special first print edition, and I've already pre-ordered the sequel. I don't even know if I like it. I don't even know if I like this. But I've got this book, and I really, really want to read it. It is about an academy of dragon riders where you bond with your dragon and learn how to fly. I know that there's a romance that everybody loves in this. And I know that everyone loves it. Objectively, people say that it's not a good book, but it is, like, crack between the pages. And so, of course, I want to be a part of this big conversation and community. She's a beautiful book. I'm very excited for her. I believe it's going to be a trilogy. But yeah, I need to read this. And so, finally, I'm putting my foot down. It's on the TBR. It will be done. This TBR is so exciting to me. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then I'm going to move over here, collect my 2, redraw my hand. Okay, and then, oh, I get another effect card. So, join a reading sprint. That's perfect. I'm literally in a reading sprint right now. I will be in some later tonight. I love reading sprints. They're so much fun. If you are a, like, sort of reader, you're sort of into the community, I highly recommend that you check out anybody's reading sprints. They're so much fun. They're just a blast. So, that's perfect. And for the final book, oh my goodness, what do I want to read? I'm going with read a book with an animal on the cover, which means that I'm committing to a project that I wasn't prepared for. I'm going to read A Snake Falls to Earth by Darcy Little Badger. I love Away. That is one of my favorite young adult fantasies. It is incredible and I highly recommend. If you're looking for something with a sexual representation for queer lit readathon or just in general for Pride Month, I highly, highly recommend Away. It's fantastic. But this is Darcy Little Badger's more recent. I believe this came out in 2021. And as much as I love Darcy Little Badger, I've yet to pick this up. I've been wanting to for so long. There is a snake on the cover, and I just need to pick this up. I just need to do it. Oh, wait, you need to see. You need to see. Look at this cover. Look at this beautiful book. I'm obsessed, and I love it. So, yes, this is what I will be reading. I do have an entire reading vlog planned for this book, which means I now have to commit to doing that reading vlog. So, this might backfire for me, but, you know, it's fine. I'm just excited to finally read this dang book. That actually felt like it went by so quick and easy. I was really worried about this TBR and what I was going to get, but you know, I think that it worked out really well. I got my 5 books, I have a punishment that I'm completely okay with, and I have some fun activities that I get to partake in. So, here is the official TBR, including The Last Hope in Hopetown. I'm very excited. These are all young adult, so it's gonna be, this one might be adult actually, Other Birds, but it's shorter, so I feel like I can get through these pretty quick in comparison to other things. Morningstar will probably take me the longest, just because it's like a dense sci-fi fantasy world, and it's going to take me a little bit to get back into it, but until then, I'm really excited. So long as I listen to some good music and join a sprint this month, like, I feel like that's so doable. So, I'm really excited. I also would like to read, I think it's Master of Jinn for Once Upon a Readathon. I really want to read Mercy Graves, I believe, which was a Kaylee recommendation to me. She said that it was really enjoyable. It's an older young adult fantasy, and that's got like assassins in it, so I'm excited for that. It's gonna be a nice, kind of relaxing and chill June, but still I'm very excited for all of these books. June is gonna be so good. I can just feel it. I can just feel it. There's a chance that we might go to a music festival too. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Y'all don't care. If you want to hang out with me more, subscribe to my channel and give this video a like if you enjoyed. But yes, if you're interested in my life, I do a lot of weekly vlogs and just vlogs in general, and I like to talk, so if you're ever like interested in what's going on with me, my DMs are open, and I also just will chat way too much in my vlogs, so I won't make you sit through that here. I hope you enjoyed this video and this TBR game. What are you planning to read? Are you participating in any readathons? I know a lot of people are taking June off from readathons because of Aurelium and Realmathon and Escape the Readathon. So let me know, are you participating in anything this month? What are you really excited to get to this month? I would love to know. But until then, I hope you guys had a fun time hanging out with me in this very chatty and chaotic TBR game. It actually wasn't that chaotic, it went by pretty quick, but I feel chaotic. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye!